Hello and welcome to Battle of the Ports. Last week we took a look at Barbarian. This week it's time for the 1988 sequel Barbarian 2: The Dungeon of Drax from Palace Software. US viewers may know this game as Axe of Rage, since Epyx released the game there and with their amazing powers of wisdom decided to call it something completely different than the original, which was called Death Sword in the States. In Barbarian 2, we now get to control a princess or barbarian character. I'm going with the princess, as I'm imagining it's the game cover and page 3 sensation Maria Whittaker. For those not familiar with UK 80s tabloids, the page 3 girl was a topless model in a new pose each day, with the Sun tabloid being the most obvious choice. Anyway, back to the game. In this sequel, you now get to explore the game world to locate and defeat an evil wizard. The game's plot is an extension of the predecessor, although the gameplay is different. While the first game offers two players the opportunity for virtual head-to-head combat, the second is a single-player beat-em-up with fewer fighting moves. There are 4 stages in total: Wasteland, Caves, Dungeon, and the Inner Sanctum. As you'd expect, each stage is populated by monsters, traps, and items. Unfortunately, the areas to this game don't scroll. Instead, we're treated to screen flipping. The problem here is that the connections amongst rooms are disjointed. The exit on the left of one room might be connected to the entrance of the same side of another. This is very confusing. Then you have the issue of often being trapped due to enemies attacking off screen or being respawned into a trapped area between a hazard and an enemy. These two issues really do bring the game down an awful lot. ZX Spectrum time, and I can't say I'm too keen on this one. The graphics are pretty poor with some nasty colour clashing. They should have just made the game monochrome. It would have looked so much better. I do appreciate the size of the sprites, but I don't appreciate the screen tearing whenever they move. Maybe going with smaller sprites would have been the better idea. It probably would have helped with laggy controls as well. Unlike the original Barbarian, Barbarian 2 on the Speccy isn't too hot. The MSX is up next, and as was practically always the case with Western MSX developed games, this is just a crappy ZX Spectrum port. But hey, at least it's faster than the Speccy version and has some awesome fart sound effects. Okay, it sucks, but I'm trying to look on the bright side. Thankfully, the Amstrad CPC did not suffer the same fate as the MSX with the crappy ZX Spectrum port. Nope, the Amstrad CPC got a version of the game that actually makes use of the hardware. This plays quite like the Commodore 64 release, but with a little more speed, believe it or not. Coming next is the Amstrad GX4000. Yep, the crappy slightly beefed up Amstrad CPC in console form. This is basically the CPC version but with a little more definition to the looks. Acorn Electron was blessed, or should that be cursed, with another game. Barbarian 2 on the Electron is very laggy to play, lacks any real sound, and well, just all out sucks. And here we go with Beverly Hills Cop on the BBC Micro. Oh wait a moment, I mean Barbarian 2. Why the hell does it have the Axel F track playing? As to be expected, the BBC Micro port looks very much like the Acorn Electron version, but at least now we get some audio. The controls on the other hand are all sorts of funky. Since I'm having to play this with the keyboard, we have Z and X as left and right, backslash as down, and colon as jump, but I can't find the key for up. To attack we hold down the enter key. Needless to say, this is not very user friendly.
Follow me. Welcome to the Dungeon of Drax. Choose your warrior. Insert disc 2.
Onto the 16-bit systems now with the Amiga version and its excellent presentation. This is the US version here, being played in NTSC. As you can see and hear, this is miles better than any other version so far. It has even more fluid controls, but sadly, the game is still a steaming pile of shit. How many times I was trapped with no way of escape? How many times did I turn my character around when I wanted to attack? How many times could I not enter a doorway? Yep, this game plays like crap, which is a real shame as it looks and sounds good.
Welcome to the Dungeon of Drax. Choose your warrior.
Next up is the Atari ST release, which is pretty much the same as the Amiga, besides having some of the cool presentation being removed. In other words, it's also crap. course, PC fans also get a port of Barbarian 2 with a variety of colour options from CGA to Tandy to EGA. We're looking at the EGA 16 colour option with PC audio. To be honest, this version doesn't look too bad. I was expecting a much more ugly game. The backgrounds are animated, the sprites are big, and well, it's a good port of Barbarian 2. That doesn't make it a great game, mind you. And let's take a look at all of those versions of Barbarian 2 running side by side.